careers abroad. Right. So we are a firm that offers study abroad solutions across 30 countries worldwide for all streams of studies and all levels of studies, including MBBS and a very attractive executive MBA package in Canada that leads you right up to PR. We also offer direct skill-based immigration to countries like Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, which do have points-based programs for this. And of course, what we are going to discuss today, various permanent residency and citizenship by investment options across more than 15 countries worldwide. Right. We also offer investing abroad in financial instruments and real estate. And we run an online coaching academy for those who are going to study abroad. They need to pass several entrance exams for doing studies, further studies abroad. So we run an online coaching academy for that also. So we offer the entire range of services end to end under one roof from our Juhu office. And of course, most importantly, we are partners of the Ajmera Law Group in Mumbai, and we are very happy to associate with them. So I'll now hand over to Mr. Vijay Sadani, who is the CEO of Ajmera Law Group, to take this ahead from here onwards.
Thank you, Ketan Bhai, and once again, welcome to all the attendees today. Thank you for taking your time out to join us and understand from us what the topic is all about. I would take this opportunity to introduce them to Advocate Ajmera, who's the chairman, author, and founder of Ajmera Law Group. He's a pioneering practitioner of immigration law since last 29 years. And he launched Ajmera Law Group basically to provide global investment services to HNIs and UHNI clients in India and abroad. Yeah, Advocate Ajmera has many firsts to his credit, including the introduction of EB5 program in India in 1998, and also the startup visa program for Canada. And also we do bring into you startup visa programs for various other countries along with the investment option opportunities across the globe. He has also authored 2 books, Millionaires on the Move, the second edition of which we are going to be launching shortly, and also How to Plan Your Child's Foreign Education in 2020, Myth versus Reality, which we launched last year. I believe without taking much further time, I would like to hand it over to Advocate Ajmera. Before that, I'll just tell all the attendees that please reserve your questions till the end. You will have an opportunity to put in all your questions into the chat to us, and we will answer them one by one as we are taking the question answer sessions in the end of the presentation by Ajmera sir. Thank you very much for your time again, and Ajmera sir, the floor is all yours now.
Thank you, Vijay Bhai, and thank you, Ketan Bhai, for arranging this webinar. We have been doing it and talking about this for quite a long time. So finally we are here, and let me just open my video so that it becomes easier to see. So now you can see it, right?
Yes, I'm seeing a green patch somewhere. I don't know if everybody's seeing that or no, but some gray colored patch. So maybe it's at my end.
Yes, sir, yes. Sir.
Yeah.
Just do the reshare the slide.
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
No, we still have that activate windows, I think, on the corner.
Activate window?
There is some black patch on the left corner screen bottom.
Yeah. If you can go to the full screen mode, Prashant, it could possibly go away. If you can try that, so.
They are still there, but okay, let's just I think go on.
Okay. So once again, thank you, Vijay Bhai, and thank you, Ketan Bhai. Why Indian HNIs or ultra HNIs should consider investing globally? So many of you might be wondering that what it has to do with the settling abroad or children's educations, which Ketan Bhai and we are doing it. So I'm going to give you a kind of a different perspective, in a sense that generally what we understand when it comes to globally, and particularly in the financial city of India, in Mumbai, when everybody and anybody is talking about the stock market, only mantra given is good return, low risk, better return, lower risk, best return, lowest risk. So this is the only way we are talking about investing into the Indian stock market, or even investing into the global stock market or an out of India. But why we should do it? Only thing they're talking about is better return. Okay, we understood. But what are the other things or points are there that I should make an investment? And that is very important. And the second aspect is most of the parents and students think nowadays that study abroad is only way to settle abroad. But study abroad is not the only way to study and settle abroad. There are so many other ways are there. Like say for example, I'm going to from Ahmedabad to Mumbai. You have a second class, you have a second AC chair car, flight, all kinds of things you are taking. And various options are available, and depending on your options, you take that one. So considering that one, the investing abroad is becoming important as well. Because when we are as a family, as you are a professional businessman, you have a financial goals. That means you are earning the money and saving the money for to achieve the three non-financial goals, and which is always the children's educations, quality of life, and my retirement. So before 2007, this was the typical things that we were investing money in India, earning money in India, and investing in India. But the things has changed from 2008 onwards. How? These are the data published by the RBI that in 2008, Reserve Bank of India allowed the Indian citizens or an Indian businessman to make an investment outside India or to remit the money out of India. And if you look at the year 2019 and 20 data, for the study purpose, Indian citizens, parents and children like yourself has invested or remitted almost $5 billion in a study and another $5 billion in a close relatives and a gift. So that means the Indian parents has remitted almost $10 billion. That means 75,000 crore rupees. 75,000 crore rupees has been remitted out of India for children's education and their living expenses, and so they can settle probably in a foreign country or get educated in a foreign country. So that means we are spending a lot of money. The second aspect is travel. And then the last aspect is only $1 billion is into the investment. So now if we look at the scenario before 2007, we were earning in India and spending abroad. But after these liberalized remittance schemes, now the things has changed. That we are doing international holidays, children's educations are going after the 12th. Probably we want to have a second home, destination wedding, expanding our business. But are we putting our money at a work to earn the dollar for ourselves? So how can you do that one? And that's how this whole presentation comes in front of you for the purpose of planning, that how you should do it and why you should do it. It's not, we are not here to, as a law firm, we are never in a business or a practice of selling some product to you that, okay, here is the projects, put X amount of money and you will get a PR of Canada or USA or Australia or New Zealand or European countries. No, as a law firm, we always believe that the client is hiring our services to advise you legally. And then we give them a pros and cons of each of the program or each of the routes. And then we say that, okay, this is the good route for you. And if it is not, then let's look into the other options. And that's what we can do it. And why we have to do it? Because in the last 12 years, if we look at it, the dollar was at 49 rupees. Now it is 75, 76 rupees. So if I had a 5 crore rupees in 2008, which is equivalent to a $1 million, is now become reduced by 35%. Just because the currency, the rupee has become weak against the dollar. Similarly, when it comes to the education, study abroad has gone expensive in the last 10 years by 25%. So if you are planning for your child's education when he's in a grade 12 or when he has finished the bachelor's degree, does it really make a sense? I don't think so. You have to plan early, decide that whether your child is going to study abroad and settle abroad or not, or settle abroad comes afterward. But at least if you've decided that you want your child to study abroad, then you have to do financial planning before. I have met number of parents, not only parents, but even the financial planners who are very experienced, very senior financial planners, but has messed up their finances by not taking into the consideration what I'm telling you in this presentations about the currency fluctuations, and the cost is increasing, and just going after the one route, which is send my child for an undergraduate or a master's degree in America or Canada, Australia, New Zealand. He will settle there and get an immigration there and do it. But how much money you are spending in doing that one, that nobody wants to realize it. He says, well, that's everybody spending, so I'm spending as well. What can I do it? And it has become a kind of a, you can say, herd mentality, that that's the only way to do it. And I think that should change. So if you look into all this rise in the cost, reduction of the rupees against the dollars, your $1 million has become a $500,000 by the time in the 12 years when your child was, say, for example, was 1 year old in 2008, and now when he's 12 years of old, your net asset has become 50% in global understanding. Similarly, if you are investing into the dollar market, it's also reducing as well. So it's also not giving a very good return. So basically, what options we are offering? We are not saying that you obtain and do not do this residency and the student visa. If that's what you like, you do it. But there are so many. I think somebody, Mr. Roger, is there and who's trying to mess up the presentation.
Go ahead, sir.
No, but we have to kick him out, right? So we try to give, as a law firm, 4 different options. First is consider the student visa. There's nothing wrong in it. But also, if you are at a young age or if you are at the right time, consider the residency and citizenship by investment. Why? Because if you obtain the residency and citizenship by investment for your children or for your family before they become over the age of 18 in certain countries, or 21 or 22 in Canada, and if they become a permanent resident of that country, the fees can be reduced up to 80%. Once again, I'm repeating, the fees can be reduced by 80%. And that is big considerations and big saving in the fees compared to what you are paying the fees as an international student. I give you an example. I'm a Canadian citizen. My 3 children are studying in Canada. Because they are Canadian citizens, their combined fees for the 3 universities in 2019 was not even a $15,000, 15,000 Canadian dollars. That means 6 lakhs rupees. Probably it is less than what you might pay to a good university or a private university in India, because they were Canadian citizens or a resident. So if student visa you want to take a route, go ahead and look at it. But if there is a possibility, look into the possibility of residency and citizenship by investment. And if you think that you cannot do that one, that is also fine. We are here as a law firm trying to show you a different routes. And another route we are looking at it is investing abroad, because your child is small, because of the whatever the reasons you cannot take the residency and citizenship by investment, but you want your children to study abroad, and probably you want them to settle abroad. Then at least out of your total portfolio or total investment, what you have it, you should make it 15, 20%, 30%, some amount of money out of India in a global stock market or mutual fund or an ETF or even a real estate. Or if you are in a business, do the business, but park certain money out of India, which we call it a personal hedging of the fund. That means I'm buying the dollars, I'm buying the dollars at today's price. So if I'm going to use that dollar in a 5 years, 10 years time, And if the rupee goes weak, I'm benefiting. So if you had to purchase your dollars by parking your money into the different asset class, it can not only bring the advantage of the dollars means currency exchange, but also it will earn you a certain type of return as well, depending on what asset class you increase. So basically, you are making your dollar to a work to earn the dollar for you. So you have a 5, 6 different routes to look at it and look at the final planning of investing abroad, study abroad, which Ketan Bhai is doing very nicely, and you can look into that one. But look at the same time the possibilities. Can we do residency and citizenship either for the whole family or for a child? If there is a one child, okay, that's not possible. Fine, no problem. Let's start parking the some money out of India. Like if you go to our portal Ajmera Capital, and on that portal you can make an investment into foreign stock market, directly into USA. You can have a portfolio management services. You can open a one account and invest the money into the 50 stock market of the world. You can purchase a real estate in America. You can buy a farmland in America. Wherever you want or whatever the asset class you want, you can make this investment, park your money, not only for the return, but also for your children's foreign educations, for spending the money, for your holidays, for your destination wedding, because your lifestyle as an HNIs and ultra HNIs in India has changed. And if this one has changed, either you have to go abroad, start earning in a foreign dollars, or take a residency and settle abroad, or put your rupee, convert into a dollar or a foreign currency and make it work. And that's what we are trying to convey to the Indian parents, that if you are basically remitting $10 billion, why not? Why you should not think of investing abroad and create a portfolio of 5, 10%, 15%. We're not saying that park all your money. That is also called diversifications, and also you are planning for your future's expenses in foreign currency. So that is very important aspect to look at it. Now, when it comes to the residency and citizenship by investments, generally what is the concept which I've heard from the HNIs and ultra HNIs in India is, oh, it is only for the people who are not financially well to do. But I disagree with you. When it comes to the residency and citizenship by investment, if you look at the internet, if you look at the global migrations associations, they say that this is now, we are passing through a time where we see the voluntary migration of people from one part of the world to the other part of the world. And also we see the migration of rich and famous from one part of the world to the other part of the world. Why? Obviously, the number one reason is right here, the children's future, business expansions, non-resident status, quality of life, want to build an international portfolio. They would like to have a visa-free travel. They want to do tax planning, family reunion, because certain member of families are in one part of the world, then they are in the another part of the world. They want to diversify portfolio because they see that there is a political risk in my country where I'm staying. And ultimately also they want to see that we want to retire. Like, a few years back, we have seen in bigger cities like Delhi, Bombay, that we have our house or an apartment or a bungalow in a main city, but we always have a second home nearby hilly areas like a Simla, Masuris, or in Bombay, very popular like Mahabaleshwar, Mathurans. So now we are going into the phase that people want to have the second home somewhere in Europe or in America, and they want to have a retirement life and having a best of both worlds. So these are the various reasons people see it. Apart from these reasons, in which country do you get the residency and citizenship by investment? So USA, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, these are the 5 popular countries, English-speaking countries, along with that one, Ireland. That the direct citizenship is into the Caribbean islands like St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Antigua, Barbuda, Grenada and Dominica. Residency in Europe is Portugal, Spain, Malta, Cyprus, Greece, Bulgaria. Also now the new one of the additional countries is Turkey as well. Citizenship in Europe is also possible, direct citizenship by Cyprus, Malta, Bulgaria, and Moldova. I'm not going to go into the detail of this program because it can go on for almost another 3 hours. Now, let me give you a perspective of most of you who are here and your friends and relatives and your children want to have the study in the USA. Great idea. But the things which were there 10, 15 years or 30 years back, we have to look into not in that perspective that 30 years back, my cousin went to America or my brother went to America. Now he's well settled, so I want to send my child to America as well. I think that particular aspect needs a reconsideration. So here are the 10 direct steps for studying in America. So you take a IELTS exams or probably TOEFL exams, selection of a university and a program. You received I-20, which is an admission letter. Collect the papers, finance, apply for your F1 visas or student visa. After study, you apply for OPT or optional practical training. Then after number 6, the problem starts. How do I find a company who will do an H1 visa for me? So I can work additional 6 years on an H1 visa. After that, the second problem comes up is when do I find a company who will sponsor me so I can get a green card? And green card to the US citizenship is another 5 years. So in today's scenario, you can look at it, the study in America to get your green card and citizenship, the wait time could be anything between 18 to 25 years. And still, we are crazy about America without any planning. And every now and then, my friends and relatives and clients, they all call me, oh, Mr. Ajmera, my son is going to America. This morning, my old friend from Bandra called me, Ridesh Chaturvedi, and he said, my son on 8th of August is going to America on Georgia Tech, and he's going to settle in America. Life is set. Obviously, I didn't want to disappoint him that when he's going to get his green card. And this is not my words. I'm not trying to scare you, but this is the July publications coming out from the US government. You can go and check it out, which is also known as a priority date visa bulletin. And each and every one of our children, irrespective whether they are from India or any part of the world, when they come to America, they apply under the 3 categories, either EB1, EB2, and EB3, which is mentioned here as a 1, 2, and 3. And if you look at this 2 and 3 categories, whereby your children is going to get an H1 visas and going to get an eventual green card, they are looking at the file of June 2011. And in EB3 categories, they are looking at the file of 2013, January 2013. So that means that person or student has gone to America 6-7 years before. Now, if he has filed his petitions in January 2013, in July 2021, now he gets his chance that he will get a green card eventually. And why this is this scenario? Because in each of this category of 1, 2, and 3, EB1, 2, and 3, the quota since last 32 years is the same. It's a 40,000 green card in each category. That means 1,20,000 green card. And compared to that one, the number of students applying are 1.2 million, 10 times more, or probably even more than that. And that's why it's taking us so much longer period of time. Like as you have seen into the family class application, similarly now this H1 visas and converting into green cards, those days are gone that you get settled in America after you finish your master's or bachelor's degree, you work for 2-3 years, you will find a company who will sponsor you and you are done. The only category which is current right now, this EB1C, is if you are a person of an extraordinary ability, or if you can show that you have done some kind of research work which is of a national interest. So in that case only we can say that yes, if your child goes now, as of now, he can get a green card on a current, and this thing keeps changing on a monthly basis and time is increasing on a regular basis. So what are the options available for investment abroad? We do not want to look at the immigrations, residency and citizenship, but we want to look at the other ones. And these are the, like if you do it in Indian financial institutes, you can invest up to 200,000. Foreign portfolio managers up to 100,000 and above. Foreign funds are available in India, but the problem is that it's rupee to dollar, and again you are back to rupees. Whereas we have a fintech platforms available where you can make an investment as low as up to $1,000 to $2,000, and you can make an investment outside in India. Systematic investment plan or SIP is available just like we do it in a mutual fund for $200 minimum. Multi-stock platform is also available, which I already mentioned, so I don't want to go into the great detail. So this is the one presentations I finished. I think some of the people wanted to see the updates with respect to the EB5 visa. So I'm going to do the second presentations with respect to the EB5 very quickly, and then we'll move to the question and answers. So the EB5, in the light of the presentation which I just made, why people are looking at the EB5? Because the quota for India available is current. So if you are wealthy enough and if you can make an investment, you can get a green card. Obviously, it can reduce the fees for your children's educations, and they can become and start working in America as a local student. So what is the EB5 rules requirement in 1990? It's not something new, but in India, it came only in the last few years. So if you make an investment of $1 million and invest into a new enterprise or a business, and you create a jobs, and if you have a legitimate source of income, and if you have unsecured borrowed money to be invested, and you can do this business anywhere in America, and it can give you a green card. So this was the original rules of the EB5 in 1990. Then the rule came in 1992, which is known as a rural area. So the 1 to 5 requirement is the same. The number 6 requirement changed. That means if you are, rather than anywhere in America, if you set up your business in a rural area where there is a less than 20,000 population, or if you go for a high unemployment area where there is a more unemployment, or there is a regional centers designated by the state government of USA, then your investment amount can reduce from $1 million to $500,000. Till you have to create the 10 new jobs, it has to be a new enterprise or a new business. It cannot be an existing business. And this one was going on since 1992. Even I was personally involved in this practice since 1998. But the things changed on 21st November 2019. The government of USA decided to increase the amount from $500,000 to 900,000, 1 million to 1.8 million. Unfortunately, on 22nd of June 2020, US government lost case, which was filed by the team of our lawyers in America and our regional center, Behring, which is right here. And basically, government lost the case that we may maintain in that petition that the government made this increase in the amount from $500,000 to 900,000 and 1 million to 1.8 million was not properly, process was not properly followed. And it was made by an officer who was only on a temporary position. Along with these other arguments, basically government lost the case. So as of now, the investment amount of EB5 is reduced from 900,000 to 500,000 and 1.8 million to $1 million. On 24th of June 2021, bill to make the EB5 defeated in US Parliament. What does it mean? That there are two types of EB5 we saw. One is a direct investment. That means you can do business on your own or you can do it through a regional center. The direct EB5 investment is open as of now today. But that is your business. You are running and managing. Either you can go in a joint venture with your friends, relatives, or somebody. Or if that is not the case, you can go ahead with the regional center. But the regional center's approval hasn't come from the US Parliament or US Senate, because it has expired on 30th of June. So we are waiting on that approval to come through. That is the situation as of 31st July. Probably in the next 2 to 4 weeks, that will come up. So now under the direct investment of the EB5, you have two options. You have a US company looking for an equity investment for expansions which meets the EB5 requirement, and you can do it. So it can be a US company, could be your friends, relatives, or person known to you. They're already having an existing business. Either they want to start some new business or they want to expand their existing business. And based on that one, you can make an investment provided you meet the three requirements: that the business is located in a high unemployment area or a rural area. It is going to be an expansion of a business or a new business, and it's going to create the 10 jobs. Or you can start a new business, a new company and a new business which meets these three EB5 requirements. So if we look at it in the diagram forms, how it works, obviously we identify the business which is new or possibility of expansions. Due diligence, we have to determine that it's in the rural area or in high unemployment area. It's going to create the 10 jobs, and investment is there minimum of $500,000. Create a business plan. We need an immigration lawyer in USA and also the security lawyers in USA to draft the agreements and to make your applications EB5 successful. So if it is a direct business, if you are doing on your own, then as an EB5 investors, you're making an investment in that business or a franchise business, which we have it right now, and it can be done as well. Or if you have your relatives or businessmen in USA who are expanding their business or who are starting a new business, and in that business you are becoming a partner, obviously we have to decide the terms and conditions which satisfy your need as well. And based on that one, you make an investment of $500,000, and you can obtain the residency, means US green card for husband, wife, and children under the age of 21. This is the basically the structure of the regional center-based investment. So in a regional center-based investment is that there is a developer in USA, for example, they make an applications to the USCIS that give us this area which we are talking about is regional centers. They create a separate company for a new project or a new real estate project, and they are making their own marketing efforts. And then as an investor, you are investing into that project as an equity, and based on that one, you are obtaining the US green card. The second scenario is that you are a US developer, but your regional center is not yours. You've taken a license from somebody. You are making a marketing efforts, but you created this company for an investment purpose. You are making an investment into this business, and from that business, the loan is given to the real estate business. So that's the second scenario. And the third scenario is in many cases when there are small developers or small time real estate organization companies are there, then mortgage companies or financial broker has taken the approval of the regional centers, and they have promised to the developers in USA that we will raise the money for your fund. The company is created, and in that company, another additional company is created in which you are making an investment. That company gives a loan to the real estate new projects, which meets the EB5 requirement. This is, I'm trying to put it in a very simplified terms, which again, otherwise it's like much more complicated than this. This is another structures we are looking at it. So now comparing between the direct and regional centers investment, the regional center has an expiration date. Direct investment has no expiration date. In regional centers investment, when you are making, there is necessary to obtain the regional centers permission and project approval from the US government. In direct investment, there is no need. Obviously, in regional centers, there is a higher requirement for the operations and compliance. In direct investment, it is less. Job creations in regional centers, you can calculate the direct and indirect jobs, whereas in direct investment, you can calculate only the direct jobs, which is people are working in your business, you can calculate. Generally, the regional center-based projects are being used to raise the large capital, whereas the direct investment is done for the purpose of a small, raising small capitals, probably 1 or 2 millions, not more than 5 millions. Green card quota under the regional center is only 3,000. Under the direct, it's a 7,000. But the reality is that the direct investment, only 5% or 10% of people are making investment. 90 to 95% of people are making under the regional centers. And this unused quota of 7,000 is allocated to this one. When it comes to the green card operation of business, in regional centers, you do not have to worry about it. But whereas in the direct businessman, either you or some of your friends or relative has to help you to run and manage the business. As the regional center is having one state and you are not involved in that business, you can basically practically live anywhere in America. Whereas in the managing business and a direct investment, it's likely to be only in the same state because you're going to be involved with the business. So this is basically a very quick overview of the EB5 and updates and comparison between regional centers and direct investment. Now I'm moving to the Canada as a startup visa program of Canada. The startup visa program of Canada started in 2013. There are 5 persons per business proposals can apply for the startup visa or immigrations. It should be outside the province of Quebec. The only requirement is the language requirement of IELTS band 5. No education requirement, obviously. It's not mandatory, but obviously if you are going to run and manage this business, the higher the educations, it's obviously more helpful. Minimum fund requires for settlement, which could be about $25,000 to $30,000. So these are the basic requirements of the startup visa program by the Canadian government. What are the requirements to be done? That if you have a startup ideas, new idea or a new technology, you need to receive a letter of support by presenting your idea to the new incubation centers or acceptance letters, or they are ready to invest in your business. Not you are making an investment, but they are ready to make an investment of $75,000 or as a VC, 200,000. So these are the government approved companies who are making an investment into your business. And once you have a letter of authorizations, you can apply for the permanent residency of Canada with husband, wife, and children under the age of 22. So how the process works, you can get in touch with the Ketan Bhai and his company, Everaspire. Once we do the due diligence and see that your profile is of a kind that where we can understand that we can do something for you and we can come up with the business idea for you, refine the ideas, do the SWOT analysis, business presentations, demo, extensive interview coachings. And then once we have accepted you as a client, you're making a presentations to the incubation centers as a business incubators or an angel investors or a venture capital. Once you have done that one, and if you get accepted, then they give you an invitations by designated organizations, which is known as the letter of support. And that letter of support, before that, obviously they give you they review your business plan, they give you a training program, networking, development, testing, prototype, everything is done. And at the end, you get the letter of support. With the letter of support, if you want, you can straight away apply for the permanent immigration of Canada, which might take a longer period of time. And if you are in a hurry to move to Canada, you can apply for a work permit. Once you have, if you decided that you don't want to go for a work permit, you can go for a direct PR where you have to do the police clearance or a security clearance, medical exams, language test, which you have already given, and the bank balance you need to show about 25 to $30,000 with a family of 2+2. And then you obtain the permanent residence visas. After 3 years, you can become a citizen, and that gives you a right to work, live in Canada. Also, it gives you a right to work in certain occupations in America, or you can do a business in America under the E1 and E2 visa. Apart from this, there are programs. I'm not going to go into the details, but as I mentioned in my video, which I was playing earlier, Portugal, Spain, Greece, Malta, Cyprus, Bulgaria, Latvia, and Turkey has the programs whereby you can make an investment into the real estate or a fund and obtain the residency or citizenship of European countries if that's what you prefer. The third group is St. Kitts and Nevis or Grenada, Antigua, Barbados, St. Lucia, and Dominica, which is very popular place. This gives you a direct citizenship if that's what something you are looking into it. Legal questions. Any Indian or foreign citizens or foreign lawyers is not an Indian lawyers and giving a legal advice, basically in violations of the Indian Advocates Act. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate. I will now stop my screen and probably will start the chat, which will give us the basically you can start asking the questions or you can raise your hand and we can unmute you and ask questions and we'll try to reply to you. Once again, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time attending this webinar.
So anyone has any questions, please feel free to post on the chat, or if, as Prashant Bhai said, you can unmute and ask that question. So pertaining to any of the programs that we mentioned or any other queries you have, please feel free to ask us.